Why does the CCP persecute Christians? They have 10 reasons behind this persecution. The first reason is ideological conflict. So the original purpose of the CCP, as it emerged from the Marxist-Leninist thought, was to establish a socialist state through the dictatorship of the proletariat, which emphasizing atheism as a fundamental principle. So Christianity, with its theistic beliefs and ethical doctrines, often stand in direct contrast to the materialist and atheistic worldview which promoted by the CCP. So Christians may be perceived as allegiant first to the transcendent authority rather than to the state, which is Chinese government, which can be seen as a challenge to the ideological purity and the authority of the CCP. So the persecution, therefore, serves to minimize the competing ideology that could detract from the Chinese Communist Party's absolute ideological control of the population. And the second reason is social control and unity. So the Christianity often promotes a community that transcends national border, which can be perceived as a threat to the unity and sovereignty of the state under the CCP. So the CCP's goal is to maintain the social stability and unity under its singular leadership. So Christian groups, particularly those with international connections, can be seen as fostering allegiance to external entities or spreading foreign influence, which can be conflict with the CCP's narrative of national solidarity and independence. So just by persecuting Christian groups, the CCP aims to eliminate any potential sources of division and reinforce the primacy of the state authority and ideology over the individual religious affiliations. And the third reason is historical precedence and cultural sovereignty. So this history of Christianity in China, which includes the periods where it was associated with Western imperialism, which has left a legacy of suspicion. So the CCP intend to promoting the cultural sovereignty and the socialism with a Chinese characteristic, which often views the Christianity as a foreign import that undermines the traditional Chinese values and the cultural identity. So this perception leads to the portrayal of Christianity as incompatible with Chinese society. So persecution in this context is not only about religious control, but also a reassertion of national and cultural sovereignty, which aiming to purify China from what is seen as a dictatorial foreign influence. And another reason is societal order and influence. So the churches and religious communities often play significant roles in social organization and community building. But in the authoritarian regime like China, where the CCP seeks to be the ultimate arbiter of the social and moral order, so independent religious community can be seen as competing center for their influence. That is why by persecuting Christian groups, especially those can resist state integration, the CCP seeks to dismantle their alternative networks of influence and loyalty, which ensuring that the party remains the center and dominant force in every aspect of our social life. And another reason is the reaction to the rapid growth and influence of the Christianity. The rapid expansion of the Christianity in China, which was one of the fastest growth religious movements in China, has alarmed the CCP. The CCP is wary of every group that is capable of mobilizing any larger numbers of people, so the rapid growth can be translated into the significant social and political influence, which poses a potential challenge to the CCP's authority. So the persecution in this case serves as a preemptive strike to curb the growth of Christian community and limit the potential and influence to broader societal trends. And another reason is promotion of Chinese nationalism. The CCP promotes a form of nationalism that often includes elements of xenophobia and an emphasis on cultural homogeneity. So Christianity, with its foreign roots and global community, can be portrayed as an alien influence, which is contrary to the goals of national unity and pride in Chinese cultural heritage. So just by persecuting Christians, the CCP aims to cultivate a stronger national identity that is closely tied to the party's vision and the leadership. So this persecution also serves to loyal nationalist sentiment, and by identifying and marginalizing what is depicted as external or foreign influences on Chinese society. And another reason is asserting party dominance over religious narratives. The CCP actively seeks to rewrite or influence religious narratives to better align with the socialist value and the party's historical interpretation. So this strategy involves to reinterpreting Christian teaching to emphasize the values that are compatible with socialism, such as community service and obedience to authority. So for Christians who resist this reinterpretation and cling to traditional or orthodox view are often targeted for persecution. The goal is to ensure that all religious expression reinforce the party's ideology and portraying the CCP as the ultimate arbiter of the moral and the ethical standards in society. So just by controlling the religious narrative, the CCP aims to consolidate its control over the cultural and spiritual life of the people, which reducing any potential ideological competition.